In today's show, Danny Meringue from 105.1 The Fan returns, and we talk about the Trailblazers' moves this offseason, setting them up for the present and the future. Welcome to Locked On Blazers. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Trailblazers, your daily Portland Trailblazers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, world? It's your past first point guard and Trailblazers reporter, Mike Richmond. You listen to another episode of Locked On Blazers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, available wherever you get podcasts, also on YouTube. Coming at you 3 days a week in August and September. Then we'll be back to our 5 days a week each and every weekday once we hit the middle of September. Returning back on the program. If you missed Monday's show, he was also here, and he's still here now. Danny Meringue from 105.1 The Fan here in Portland. Danny, how you doing? Welcome back.
Oh, man, it's been a long time. Yeah, it's always good to catch up with you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I noticed not a lot has changed since we last spoke.
Nope.
What I want to talk about in today's show is the changes this offseason. Let's start in Vegas, where you got an up-close look at young瀚森, the Blazers' rookie sensation, or at least damn intriguing youngster. Just really a really fun type of player, if nothing else. Up close, what are your early impressions? I want to talk about sort of all of the other impact stuff, but just like basketball.
Yeah.
When you first saw him play, what were your basketball impressions of瀚森?
So I'm going to take it back just a couple days before, because I did what ended up being 5,000 words, but it was a 7,000 word write-up on the Patreon. And I watched all of his CBA games, all of his U18, all of his 19 games. Shout out to folks at Synergy that hooked me up with all the access to all of the CBA games, so I didn't have to try to scour YouTube to try to find stuff. Not having to go through the minutes that he didn't play was much, much better, because watching CBA, it's very tough. But watching that, I came away with like, okay, how does this translate? And I talked to the Blazers front office about, some things that they did to kind of understand that translation value ahead of Summer League. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. But despite watching all that film, I tried to go down to Vegas with an open mind and go, let's just see what this looks like. Like, let's see the translation in real life. And the cool thing, you've been out of Summer League. The cool thing about being down there, even with as commercialized as it is now, if you're media, you are right there. The beat media gets to sit on the floor, and so you can hear and see everything 10 feet from you, which is the best thing about being down there, outside of the networking stuff. Is like, you can see everything you see on TV, but when you see it up close and personal, and you see the physicality, and you see all of the things that kind of go along with that, you just kind of, I don't know, you feel it more. And they run that set, the pin down that we saw for so many years with Dame and CJ. And I was like, okay, Ronnie's cooking. And I thought he was going to flash and then go. Instead, he gets the ball and he throws that bounce pass to the back cut. And I was like, oh. And there have been 3 or 4 guys over 6'10" that I've seen pass at Summer League where I went, damn. The last time I did that was Ben Simmons. Now, Ben Simmons, everybody knows now. He was so good. Ben Simmons, Summer League, he had a pass that will live rent-free in my head forever. He drove the right slot, turned, looks like he's going to step out of bounds. His left foot's down on the ground. His body is out of bounds. His right arm is fully extended out of bounds on the baseline. And he fires a pass 75 degrees back into play through 3 defenders to a guy right in the pocket. He catches it shoots it, bricks it. But the pass itself was just like, whoa, there aren't maybe 3 or 4 guys in the entire league that can make that pass. And he's doing it at that size.
I was at that Summer League, and I remember somebody asked Ben Simmons, like, how did you see that pass? How did you see? It wasn't that one. It was a little dump off. He had to a dunk. How did you see it? And he looked at him. He's like, with my eyes.
Well, it's like asking Michael Jordan, how did you do that? It's like, you either have it or you don't.
Yeah. And it's an innate passing skill. He's like, I don't know. I see it and I do it, and not everyone sees it. Not everyone does it, but I see it and I do it. So there is, I think passing is an innate skill. It is a thing, is one of the hardest things to kind of learn how to do. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
Not that guys can't get better at it, but like if you're a good passer, like a plus high level passer, that usually you have it early, and Hansen had it early. You mentioned that pin down play. So what I really liked about that, that's the first play that we're talking about, the very first offensive possession of Summer League for the Trailblazers. Hansen gets gets to the top of the key and throws a backdoor pass to City Sissoko for a dunk. But they were setting that up. They kind of pushed in semi-transition to like get to get a little see if they had an opportunity. They didn't. So then they're like setting up their play. And Hansen, he like directs traffic. He's like, no. You go to the top of the key. You go here. He's like, he knew the play, and he's like, a fresh 20-year-old with dealing with, the language barrier stuff. And he in real time is like setting up his teammates. Hey, no. You two, top of the key, like get into it. Set the screen. Make sure you hit my guy so I can get space. Like he was just the basketball feel is pretty darn fun. The basketball feel is pretty darn fun.
The spatial awareness for a big.
Yeah, it's a good way to say it. Yeah.
I hesitate to say this because I hate putting this on guys. I genuinely.
Oh, say it, coward.
It's elite. It is. His spatial awareness for a big. Bigs cannot pass in Summer League. If all the times you've been down there, how many bigs have you seen that can pass? Even top draft picks. How many guys can do it? It's maybe
Jokic
seven,
was really,
7 or 8
really,
guys.
really good. Yeah, Jokic was really, really good at it, but he's one of the 20 best players of all time. So
the guys from like the Lithuanian national team that like played with Sabonis have said that Jokic is the best passing big they've ever seen. He's maybe the best. He's maybe the best. One of the best passers. Period. The game has ever seen.
He's really special.
When you threw a 3/4 court out of bounds pass one-handed on a rope to Aaron Gordon for a dunk, it's like
for an alley-oop.
It's like okay, yeah. And again, I'm not saying Hansen's that, but his feel, his spatial awareness, and his ability to measure space and to measure a pass. It's very funny talking to fans of the NBA about why didn't this guy make this pass? It's like, have you ever been on a basketball court with the fringiest fringe NBA guy? Try and throw a pass around them and watch what happens. Just watch what happens. You don't have a
court
chance.
Is small, yeah.
And when you've got even in Summer League, you've got guys that are fighting for their lives out there. They don't want to give you.
They play
anything.
really hard. They play really hard. It's a little sloppy, but everyone plays really hard in Summer League for sure.
They don't want to give you anything. And for him to not only pass 2 guys, but I would say of his passes that were assist opportunities, not even guys, because if they converted his assists, he would have had crazy numbers. The number of times he passed guys open was staggering. I don't think I've ever seen a big other than Jokic do that at Summer League. Just consistently pass guys open. The other thing about him is his footwork offensively is so clean, and I can't remember the last time any big came in with footwork that clean. You just don't see it anymore. This is going to sound funny. Probably the last guy that came in with footwork like that in the Summer League was Drew Timme. Because Timmy's got great feet. Timmy's problem is that he was undersized for a big and just doesn't have the athleticism to like really get it done. But his footwork's incredible. And for a guy that big to kind of demonstrate that footwork, to spin the way that he does and to stay on balance, all of like the micro skills that could lead to something, those were the things that were on display for me. And every single game, I think he ended up averaging something like, was it 10, 5, and 4, something around those.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was, even though the box score was relatively the same every game, he did it in different ways every single game. And that's why
he added more to his game each. I like that. He added more to it. I noticed that too. And I noted that on the show. It's like it was like the first game, almost no post-ups. Okay, then some post-up stuff, then some three-point shooting, then some pick-and-roll stuff. Like, he added more variety. And I think that some of that is just like the comfort of listening. Okay, here's what I'm allowed to do. Here's what I'm able to do. He seems pretty darn coachable. I think that's a curious thing I'll probably try to do some sort of show about is like, what does coachable mean? The way he's going to have to deal with the language barrier. Although I bet he'll pick up English pretty quickly.
He's trying very hard.
At least, yeah, it matters to him, and the fact that he's not playing in the Asia Cup and he's going to be in America and getting, or at least like he's going to be getting, continue to try to make that sort of transition. Like I bet he'll actually be a decent English speaker by the end of the year. Although I imagine he'll use his translator for as much as he possibly can in all the formal settings. But
yes,
in terms of like talking to his teammates, I'm sure he will, and talking to Chauncey or whatever, I'm sure he will get better at that.
The other thing that stood out to me was off the court. Not just his personality, because he's got juice. Like he's got the it stuff.
Yeah,
Mike, he was livid after that second game. Like I know it came across a little bit in the post game before those cameras came on. He was very angry. I'll put it that way. Like he was so disappointed with his performance, and I like that. I like that in a guy. I don't want a guy to beat himself up, like and get, move on to the next kind of deal. But be mad that night, be irritated and be hungry. And like, he just kind of had, again, all the micro skills that I look for in young guys. When I first started kind of evaluating draft prospects was 8-9 years ago, like really getting into it. I've been going to Hoop Summit since 2012. And the best prospect I've ever seen come through there was Cooper Flagg. And like yes, the talent is overwhelming, but at Hoop Summit last year, again, a phrase I hate using, the Mamba mentality stuff. Cooper Flagg is a psychopath in the best possible. He's the most competitive player I've ever seen at that age. And it's crazy. And Hansen's not at that, but he's competitive. All the players, all the coaches, like the guys that worked out with him and stuff in the workout process, they all said the same thing. Good, bad, otherwise, he goes at it and he gets after it hard. And it's like, we talked about last show, the idea of like being a star in your role. I think he's going to do that. Whatever bites of the apple they give him, he's going to take that and he's going to ask for more and ask for more and ask for more, but he's going to do the work necessary to have the ask, because everybody wants more, but I don't know. And I don't know. Most guys in the league aren't willing to do what's necessary to have the ask justified. And I think that he has the mental makeup to back up the physical skills, which makes it very interesting. Now, where does he turn out? Let's see what his rookie year is, because the Blazers.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what it's going to be like his rookie season. I want to talk about that and Drew Holiday in the second segment. We'll do both of those things. Join us there, won't you? First, I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth. So whether it's 401ks or properties you might own or investments you've got, and when you don't have the full picture on all of those things, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you, so you can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. All right, still chatting here with Danny Morang and 105.1 The Fan. We're talking Young Hansen. He's going to play. Like, he's going to play early. I'm fairly sure he'll play opening night. Mm-hmm. I think there's a decent chance he's the Blazers' backup center on night one, game one.
I have to issue a correction. You had Sprague on, and I said that Donovan was only going to play 23 and Young was going to play like 24 or something like that. No, I told Sprague Donovan will play 27, 28. And Hansen will play probably 16 to 18, maybe 15 to 18, because they might go small ball with Denny at the 5 to kind of mix it in there.
Yeah,
but
they could. It depends on not a ton of teams go super small in the second unit like they used to 3 years ago. So you do probably need bigs,
especially in the West. Good God, is every team big?
Yeah. So I think but I think he could 19-ish minutes is a very reasonable role for him. And I'm talking like freaking game 1 of 82, he might play 19 minutes.
Wouldn't shock me in the least bit.
I guess so much of it depends on Rob Williams, but even if Rob's such an unknown, and I think like the safe bet now basically on like what, it's like even last year, they're very conservative with Rob's minutes. And it's like, he has not been able to play consistently in terms of volume of games and volume of minutes. And it's a bummer. I think Rob he's a cool guy.
Oh, I love Rob. Good God.
Yeah. Like I wish he played more. I've told a friend this. It's like, he was like, you said that Rob is cool. And I was like, yeah, he's the best, but you can't really like go talk to a dude who doesn't play. Like that's not how journalism kind of works in my world. I can't be like, hey man, you got thoughts on the game? It's like, that's not the quote that you need it's not an appropriate use of your locker room access. You can talk to him, but that's not your lead interview.
Yeah.
It's not even, you probably shouldn't even make the story, to be quite honest, but it is what it is. Even if Rob were to be used in a similar role as last year, he's not playing 20 plus minutes. He'll have scheduled rest days. He's not going to play back-to-backs. So, right. So it's like, even if you assume he plays a very similar role to last year, and I would imagine he'll be more conservative and he'll play even less, there's minutes for Hansen. What do you anticipate him being as a rookie in the league? Because let me say this. Let me set you up with this with some thoughts here. I thought his own individual offense was pretty dicey. Like, how's he going to score? I kind of felt like he started shooting threes because he didn't have no twos. It's like, he's like, well, those are hard. Like, I can't, if I go in there, I can't score. So he started shooting threes. And one of those games, he made a bunch of them. It was fun. You'd love to see it. But like, I thought his post footwork, which really stands out in the CBA, where it's like, damn, look at those feet. He just couldn't get to that. So I do think he's going to struggle there. And I think he's going to struggle moving laterally on defense a little bit. I think those both things are real. But I think he's going to play. What kind of player do you think he'll be as a rookie? Like, what do you see for him, with the obvious caveats that young players struggle?
I want to sit down and kind of do the minutes and kind of how things shake out on the box score stuff. But I think you and I kind of see it similarly with the post-game stuff, with one caveat. Summer league, it's almost impossible for bigs to go to work because there's no spacing, because nobody can shoot in summer league. And I think talking to a few scouts after a couple of games, like what they thought of him offensively, and they're like, look, his biggest problem is that he doesn't know the style of the NBA. And in the NBA in the early 2000s, you could put the ball down on the ground 4 times. You can't do that now. Like, there was a couple times where he waited.
Spin. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah. You get 2 dribbles. Once you catch the ball on the block and you put the ball down, you get 2 dribbles. If you haven't passed or shot, somebody's coming. You're especially if everybody talks about how he needs to get stronger. That kid has got calves like Yao. He has got tree trunks for legs. His strength is not lacking on the offensive end. I think he needs to learn how to use his body better defensively, but offensively, he can move guys. But I don't know if it was funny. His first practice, through his translator, he said the NBA is more civilized. He's used to the CBA where guys are hooking guys and punching the kidneys and doing all that stuff. I think it caught him off guard, especially early on, that he had some time and some space, so he took it. But the problem is that it evaporated very quickly. I think he needs to learn the style of the NBA. And then, do I think he's going to be post up like Joel Embiid? No. But do I think he's going to get a couple post ups a night? Yeah, I could see it. I could see him getting two post ups a night, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that actually is. Like,
I will hammer the under on 2 direct.
You think so? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think he gets 1 low post opportunity, and I think he gets 1 high post opportunity where he has an option play. I think that's
sure.
That's
yeah. I think he's gonna the way they used him in summer league, where he was operating up top. I don't like to do too much basketball stuff, but in the delay action, the delay series. But yeah, that where he's handling on the top of the key. I think that's where he'll operate. For me, I am worried about his strength. Like, I saw him post up my guy Armando Bacot, and he couldn't move him. And Armando Bacot, if nothing else, is strong as hell.
Lost about 40 pounds though.
Yeah, he's slight. There was a story in the Commercial Appeal that was like, Armando Bacot is shooting 3-pointers in the G League. Here's why. here's why. My man needs a job.
Yeah.
But it's the other skills. Mondo is strong. Like Armando Bacot is NBA strong, but like that was a fairly meaningful test to me. I'm not an NBA scout, but to me, I was like, yeah, he's having trouble just getting middle against Bacot. Like he can't get his shoulder where he wants to go on that first move to set up his feet. So yeah, I'm a little dicey on that. And why I'm hitting the under on 2 post-ups is because the Blazers offense just doesn't. They basically got rid of post-ups last year.
They got rid of everything in between.
They got rid of
it affected pretty much all their scores last year. Everyone not named.
Yeah, I mean,
Shaden and Jeremy all were like, this is not working for the first 3 months of the season. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's like if they say, hey, Jeremy, we got to cut down on your post-up diet, they're not going to be like, but my man Hudson here, you can put. It's like it's just I don't see that as part of their arsenal. So it's more about the style than about him.
I agree, and I think that's why I said I caveat that with like if he gets the second one, it's an option play. But I think they're going to let him try to get a back to the basket because he does. This is the thing about passers; they want to create. Like
throwing him into the post is a fulcrum. It's unlike throwing
you
it
invert
in the post where the ball is gone. Yeah.
Yes. And I think
throwing it into him in the post is a way to work off of him. I agree with that. I would agree with that basketball wise for sure.
Because for the Blazers this year, if they have anybody that takes more than 5.5 threes a game, it'll be a surprise. But
no way. Tobias can take 6, baby.
I hope so. But
no, he's going to book it.
All right. I like it.
He took 5.5 last year. He's going to take more.
Here's the thing: is they aren't going to have anybody who takes said more 5.5, 6 threes a game, but they could have like 6 guys who take 5. And I think a way that you can do that is by inverting the offense because Scoot Henderson could come out in the first 4 months of the season and shoot 40% from 3, and he is still going to get undered to death.
Right.
They are just not going to.
The volume would have to get. He'd have to take like 8 a game for him to really worry.
But what can you do? Here's the thing: Hansen is not a great screener in the Steven Adams, Yusuf Nurkic school of screening. He is really. I mean, he got called for a million illegal screens down there, and he could have been called for a million more. But that's the dark arts. He has got the butt slide. Oops, I opened my hips up too far for you. I guess you have to go around. He does that really, really well. And if he does that kind of thing, and it's almost like a little bit of a triangle action where if they can run some stuff, if they can run some pin downs up through the lane where he can work in that delay action or he can work in get actions off the elbows and above the break or even down in the paint where you can invert some of that because teams are going to pack the paint. So if you can get them to pack the paint even further and you've got a 7'1" guy who can pass over the top, that can lead to some easier opportunities. Now, are they direct post-ups in the sense of post up to score? No. But I think that is a very easy way to invert the offense and take some of the burden off and open up shooters that can't necessarily create their shots by themselves off the bounce. So I think that's kind of where I lean to, but I'm really interested in him to see just how well or how effectively that passing and that vision kind of leads to like different things they can do. Cause they did bring in entirely new coaching staff and how they're going to what was one of the biggest questions I had when I was down in Summer League outside of the players and St. Andrews, the assistant they brought in. I had people with the Bucks organization and the Grizzlies organization both tell me he will be a head coach in the next 3 to 5 years. He's a brilliant mind on both sides of the ball. And no matter what side of the ball the Blazers kind of empower him with, like if he's running the offense or running the defense, they're going to be better off for it. So I'm really interested to see just kind of what they do with that stuff.
Yeah, it's it won't and it won't just be Hansen. It'll be some of the other additions, including Drew Holiday. The Blazers added 2 adults. One of whom's going to play, the other one who's going to watch. Let's talk about a little bit about Drew and a little bit about Dame to close the show. Join us there, won't ya?